Welcome to the inaugural podcast episode, Keeping Up with Cannabis. I have the one and only, I told you I was getting him, is the Charismatic one, a.k.a. Big T, a.k.a. Big Tude, Big Tude? Dude.
I like
Big
attitude.
Tude, a.k.a. Jorge the Giant.
I love that. Hi, everybody. I don't know why I did that, but that's cool. We'll keep it in there. Cut it.
Cut that. Shout out.
Hey, we can't use cut that. We have to go. You have to use cut it.
Cut it. With the budget version.
The budget.
Cut it. Not a ripoff. Trademark.
Because we
Keeping Up with Cannabis. We made that up. Completely original. Cut it.
Cut it.
Anyway, Corey, Tim, a.k.a. Turn-and-Cough Extracts, way back in the day, way back in my day, when cannabis extracts were so freakishly unregulated, it's insane. It's truly insane to think about nowadays how Wild West that time was. That is for the next podcast when we will go much more in depth about our expertise, which is extraction, because we ran a craft business for 4 years.
Fuck yeah, we did.
Until we got...
And it was badass.
A little blindsided by real regulations and how much the financial burden of that. Anyways, that's for that
Apparently
video.
You can't use your microwave. No.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
What's wrong with that?
We can't do this from our house. But that's for the next video. Stick around for that. This one, we'll talk about our beginnings, where we met, how we met, and why that led to cannabis. And because it's a very weird, interesting...
Just a little bit of us.
Yeah.
And then we'll go to what
we got to establish our expertise, right? Why would you believe us? Why would you even watch this channel? I mean, who gives a shit what these guys think? We do know some stuff. We're California.
Listen to me. I rub the rock and it gives me special powers. We're not those guys.
Yeah, we're the real deal.
The real deal. Yeah,
real deal
we're not like,
or something.
We're like those finance gurus. We know it all.
God, yeah.
Finance gurus. Yeah, that's what we are. Yeah. Bitcoin, baby.
Why aren't you investing
into
what is that
us?
Commercial I keep getting? Why aren't you investing in tax liens?
Woo!
Seriously, why aren't you doing that?
Because you're probably smart like us
insane.
and getting invested and getting fucking smoked on cannabis and shit. But anyways, back to the podcast. And in this podcast, we're going to be keeping up with cannabis.
That is what we will be trying to do with this podcast, is actually live up to the name of the channel, which is a parody of the Keeping Up with Kardashians show, which we made the parody. Please enjoy that. Well, we'll take a quick break.
Yeah, we're
watch this real quick.
Yeah, we're gonna go get smoked.
Yeah, goodbye for a second.
Dabbing it up, getting high as fuck.
Or a joint.
Or an edible. What? That's two.
Keeping up with cannabis.
Hope you enjoyed that. We had a blast making that.
That was too quick. When I was coming in, you were already saying so.
I didn't even give a shit. Yeah, I'm like, let's get that. I don't give. Yeah, who gives a fuck? I'll take this all on my own.
Editing. We need it for editing purposes. As you can tell, we went and had a nice little smoke break while you enjoyed that beautiful and amazing intro. Just like Corey was talking about.
My eyes bloodshot.
Just like Corey was talking about, Keeping Up with Kardashians is what...
Never seen it.
We watch it religiously. I don't know what he's talking about. Fucking love this show.
I have seen one scene, and it was when Kim lost her $75,000 earring in the ocean, and her boyfriend or whatever said, "Don't worry, I'll find it," and dove into the ocean to find the diamond earring. And I'm like,
no metal detector, no diamond detector, nothing. He's like,
just no mask, nothing. Yeah.
He puts his finger in the water. I know where it's at.
There it is. Yeah, it says.
Anyways, that show's
rod.
Amazing. We love it. Kim and them, they're friends of ours. Chris, hi, everybody.
So we made that tribute video. That was not a parody. That was a tribute.
Yeah, we totally respect them. Totally.
Yeah.
They're cool.
But we will try and keep up with cannabis, whether that's info, news, products. We will be doing that at the end of this / part 2 of this. We will be reviewing a very interesting product that kind of should have existed decades ago.
Yeah,
when you really think about it, you kind of, that's a surprise. Stick around, see what the fuck we're talking about, because it's fucking crazy. Here's the title of this one. You'll never guess what cannabis product just hit the market. It'll blow your fucking mind.
Hey, what if we were like that? We're like, hey, we're keeping up with cannabis. And then we're like, our first episode is introducing a product that's been out for already years. But we're like, keeping up with cannabis.
Yeah. We're
Check out this new thing, barely hit the market. No, hit the market.
It's called a health stone.
It's a health stone.
I wonder how many people know that.
Yeah, do you guys know that there was a product called Hellstone, right? It was
Comment your experience if you've had an experience, whether you enjoyed it. We found it to be, at first, we're like, this is really cool.
It knocked my ass out, remember?
Right?
That's for another story, but yeah.
And then it got a little weird.
It tasted too much butane.
Right, because you were just basically
just
inhaling
torching the fucking.
Right. And then it would get clogged. Anyways, that's not what we're not here to talk about products that came out.
We're here to talk about
10
heroin.
years ago. Jeez. We just got demonetized.
Demonetized really bad.
We're already demonetized. But we
just went off the fucking edge then right now with the
It's
heroin.
8 minutes of rambling. This is what we do.
It's what we do. We're high. Fuck, what you expect? The fucking title says keeping up with cannabis. Come on, people.
We met actually through audiovisual work, and
Yes.
very bizarrely
Yes.
got into cannabis, which neither of us really had any legit experience.
We didn't even have an intention to get into cannabis. Our background is in sound. We both went to schools in different areas. I like me and you were talking about this. I like how you mentioned you were down south. I was in the Bay Area. We did our own schools. We got our own things, and we went out to the real world, and we met at our workplace. We never fucking knew each other. Had great things in common. That was already there. But when we went to the company we met, we set up things. It's not like I was like, oh, this guy's fucking cool. I mean, of course, you give people, hey, the benefit. Oh, I'm gonna go work with the school there, and until somebody's an asshole, you're like, fuck that guy. Mm-hmm. But it was like, oh, this guy's cool. And then what even made it more fucking cooler is that we talked about cannabis and how we both enjoy it. Right. And we're like, oh, fuck, we need to get smoked. So it just opened. We really bonded like that. And then, of course, our background in music and what we talk about.
Oh, yeah. That made it a better connection.
And then we were going to open up our own studio. Going to do that real quick. Couldn't. Doors got slammed in our face because of issues. Then all of a sudden, we were like, hey, we can't afford fucking dabbing anymore. So,
well, that extracts probably really got popular just serendipitously. Right at the same time that, okay, we can't get into a recording studio. And then we're like, well, we're dabbing a lot. That's a really fun thing. Or, using extracts, I guess dabbing wasn't necessarily huge at the time.
It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't that big at the
time.
And
dabbing is obviously not, I'm looking at the camera, not that.
Oh, the old dabbing thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Cannabis dabbing, but so yeah, it kind of just worked out the timing that okay, how do they make cannabis extracts? And then you look it up, and at the time it was called open blasting. Hate to admit it, but that's what most people were doing at the time, which is a very dangerous way of extracting. That's for the extraction video.
Yeah, that goes in depth too. And,
we learned a lot.
Very, very highly dangerous. Yeah. Very highly dangerous. But no, we did meet. We ended up doing the extraction thing, and our
personal
use. And then our friends blew our heads up and made us go, "Oh, you guys are making." And then we really fucking hit it hard and dove into it and did the forums. Did the research, learned. We went onto the forum. We talked about it a while ago. Grey Wolf. We went onto his forum, learned some of that stuff, and then put the theories that we learned to actual use.
Well, remember, we not only did we get the really crappy basic training for open blasting, but then we had what's his name from What's That Company come out to us,
which was a great company, a great dude.
Yeah, I wonder if they're still rocking it. Come and train us on an actual closed loop system. So we did take that leap from shitty, dangerous, subpar product.
What did I say? We went from A to M because Z, There's still
in the cut version of this podcast, because this is the 45th attempt.
This is the 87th attempt.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah,
we're fucking. Hey, believe it or not, this is tight here. What we're delivering you.
Yeah,
this is fucking worked on. This is keen. So if this isn't good enough, bro, this is our fucking 88th time, bro. So
yeah.
No, but what you were seriously though, what you were saying is what we're talking about is we went from A to M because there's still
as far if you're talking about expertise, right? Expertise in cannabis.
And
Z
our
being
level, our level where we were at A, we grew to M in expertise and skill.
Yeah, and knowledge and
knowledge and all. And then it was like
maybe even further.
Yeah, maybe even further. But there's still room. There was still because now
we never run a legit licensed facility. We've
never
been in some, toured them, learned about them. We made SOPs and business plans for actual facilities. We knew all the requirements for ventilation, all that stuff. We went way in depth.
Back in because I do got to say one thing that fucking sucks about the cannabis industry is the overregulation. So we knew how to set you up back in 2016. We knew how to set you up. We knew what you needed. We knew how things worked. We still know, but we knew how to really had you off and rocking back then. Now it's so overregulated. You can't do this. You can't do that.
You gotta have a lot of money.
You can't even fucking step over this fucking line after 4 p.m. Bullshit. I mean, I'm talking some bullshit rules.
Yeah.
And so I can imagine what has changed over the years, But what I'm saying is where we came, we did small extraction, small handcraft, went from A to M a little further, and then we got out when the industry went to Prop 64 or
fully regulated,
and we've met with some snakes. We met with some fucking dirtbag snakes, and I don't regret not staying in the cannabis industry.
I have certain regrets. Mainly the biggest regret would be having too high of a standard, which sounds so kind of pretentious. But remember, I'm like, well, this doesn't meet my quality, my standard, my QC standards, and so I don't feel comfortable putting that out, selling it, even giving it away, that type of thing. And then once you see not only were all the companies actually doing that, but they're still doing that post regulations where they're putting out this just awful. Like, I need to actually do an expose because
on dabs on these brands.
Well, it's actually both because dabs start from flower. So
yes,
it's just starting material. I know something is wrong, whether it's not being flushed or some type of nutrient is staying in it, something
or they're doing something
horrible flavor.
But these big companies can't afford. I mean, you think about it. You got a facility, right, and it has fucking thousands of square feet, right, and they produce it at one time. Those hundreds of pounds, are gonna fucking not make it to the fucking shelf. Bullshit. They're doing things to it. Whether they admit it or not, these fucking plants are being sprayed with something that helps them boost or whatever, helps them get cleaned up, helps them whatever it is, and then they fucking sell it, and they still sell it in those fucking stupid fucking packages that everybody's like, oh yeah, look at this package.
Yeah, the packaging is everything.
It is.
Think back to a couple of years ago with Aurora Cannabis. The time, the biggest cannabis brand in the world going out of Canada, they had that huge issue where they had to irradiate like thousands of pounds. So literally hit it with radiation in order to be able to sell it. But it was so subpar, but it didn't matter, because
they needed to get their bottom line.
Well, not only that, but the way Canada was set up, there was only a couple of distributors or growers that you could even choose from, and you couldn't choose as a patient. Like, the government assigned it to you. I don't know if I'm getting that proper, but here you can go to whatever dispensary you want. But in Canada at the time, it was you only have this distributor, so you had to go with Canopy Growth. So whatever they put out, that's the only choice you had. Mm-hmm. So it behooved everybody for them to put it out, even if it was shit. And so the point being is, I'm still recognizing that shit now, and I regret having such a high standard that I'm like, well, we got to put it out somewhere or another.
It was like, yeah, we didn't, like, if we did it again, I feel like our standard would have been super handcrafted, you know, because we wanted to be, our standards were really high.
But it was. But think about, in order to, you know, get new material from, say, a new grower, you're like, oh, I want that strain, but it's not from a reputable grower. He's not growing it right now. So we got to venture out to a new grower. Do they do everything right? The only way for us to know is to run the material, and if it ends up shit, what do we do with it?
Well, the yields too. Remember the yields? The yields were low too on certain materials.
Stuff
the people didn't grow right.
Well, no, like we just had like issues with the machine, or
sometimes, yep.
We'd get like fire shit, and we're like, oh, we'd be like, oh, that should hit like a whatever 20% yield, and then we get like 5, and we're like, oh shit, what happened? But you know, so who takes the hit? Do we push it on the consumer and be like, well, this yielded really poorly, and we need to make the money back?
And these big companies are so. Like going with that, like like nowadays it's different. It's way different. Like you were mentioning before that. Now, the packaging speaks volumes for the product.
Because you can't see the product anymore.
You can't. You have to have the wow practice. Like it's almost like your concept is, if this company has enough money to spend on a beautiful package like this, they obviously know how to grow.
Yeah.
They obviously or they know how to run, you know, whatever it is. And it's like a glitz and glamour, and then you open up the sack and you're like, what the fuck is this? Or you open up your dab and you're like, what the
It might look fine, but then when you taste it,
yeah,
it's either lacking, tastes weird, whatever it may be.
It tastes like shit. Straight up shit.
That is just a regret that maybe any future entrepreneurs that are getting into growing or anything cannabis that deals with quality know that you don't have to take the hit. There are I'm not saying push the shit on consumers, but there's now so many ways to refine it.
Well,
turn it into distillate so it's clean.
Like every industry, pretty soon cannabis needs an industry where they have real cannabis conference, where they have growers conference, right? Where growers go and they talk and they agree on certain standards to be growing. You know what I mean? They're out there. They're out there, believe me. But they're small.
No, I think it just needs to be testing.
They're small. No. Look. Okay, I understand with the testing, but look, like any profession, they have these professional conferences. Then they get an industry standard, right? They become the industry standard, and these conferences go, and everybody goes there, and people get recognized.
The industry standard are the law, are the regulations of testing. But to say, like, you have to grow a certain way, that's where growers differentiate themselves and make their money, right? So if they have a growing method that gets them the densest trike-covered nugs, they're not going to share their secrets, right? They don't want to.
No, not at all. But
so that's why it has to be... These are the standards, and the only way we know you're meeting those is if we test. So if you're flushing, that's not being tested for, it's only if there's mold or parasites and bugs and shit like that.
So you're saying...
I'm saying there needs to be further testing.
So you're saying, like, the conferences and stuff wouldn't be helping?
No, I just think they would need to... I'm sure they're happening right now. I'm hoping,
but not as big, not as like when you hear Cannabis Expo, it's either like some like people like companies just trying to sell to each other, you know, manufacturers, distributors trying to sell to dispensary owners, and you know, things like that. It's back and forth, kind of. You know, look what I built, or look what this manufacturing machine can do for your company. That's what I feel like Cannabis Expos are mostly. And then, of course, in the corner, you have, oh, well, look, it's this panel. Nobody's there to really learn. Everybody's there just to, how can I make money? That's how I feel like these expos are.
Emerald Cup had the decent panels that had DNA, jet grower. Anyway, but yeah, there's lots more discussion to have. In my opinion, I would love to see some type of discussion on further testing. I know that's there's already so many things that manufacturers and growers and brands have to deal with. I mean, the taxes already are like almost 60-something% when it comes down to it on the brand. I mean, so to say you need to test even more things sucks. But as a consumer and not being able to see and try the product beforehand, and I just have to buy it based on what I know in the packaging and their website or whatever, and then I try it, I'm like, it's not a matter of, oh, I don't like this. It's something's wrong. I can literally taste that something is wrong, and that should not have made it past quality control. If you bought a 6-pack of Budweiser and you open one, or any beer, and you know the taste of beer, and you took a sip, and you're like, oh shit, what did they do to something happened in the hops process, whatever. Like you go, that does not taste like beer. Something's off. And I've had so many experiences with that post-regulation, with the newer, updated testing stuff, that still I'm like, oh, that tastes like food. Like I've had concentrates that actually have an aftertaste of a food, and I'm like, that's not weird. Right. That can't be right. And so there needs something's wrong. Well, that's the straight terps that we had. That was bizarre. Oh, okay, what you're saying. Yeah, actually, but this was like a fast food.
Oh my God, like, that's so fucking weird.
Was the most So anyway, what I'm getting at.
Wait, no. Let's not pass that up. The dabs tasted like a food. That's not right. I mean, like, unless this company's like, we specialize. What do you like, burrito tasting dabs?
Oh my God.
Oh, this dab's burrito. This dab's freaking steak. This dab's cheeseburger. This
that would be fine.
Pizza.
Yeah, if you can pull that off, great. Yeah, put it on your packaging.
It'd be like it'd have to be like some perfect flavoring. You know what I mean?
They'd have to do like
that would kind of be weird dabbing, and it's food.
Oh, that would be horrifying. It's kind of like the equivalent of the Harry Potter jelly beans, booger and grass and all that.
Yeah, see, and I'm over here. We're talking. Think about this though. I am talking shit right now, right? Think about this, guys. I'm talking shit right now, and when we describe like when we dab lemons, like food. We describe food, but it's like dessert food.
Yeah, I should have been more specific. Yeah,
it's not savory.
Yeah, it was like a savory, meaty, whatever. I can't remember. It was a while ago.
It reminded me of some pork chops and gravy.
Yeah, it was literally something like that. But I mean, that wasn't even the most egregious. Egregious is more the ones that taste bad.
Do you remember
like
dabbing?
Horrifying.
Do you remember dabbing like oil back in the day, where it's just tar-looking oil?
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Remember, and it just fucking
just reclaim.
But it was just like also being hit like on 5,000 degree fucking nail.
Oh yeah,
be red hot nail, and your throat would just fucking burn. You'd be like holding your fucking neck. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that'd be crazy.
We've come a long way.
Yeah, okay, so we've come a long way. We met in at work. We both have the same background. We started collaborating more, and weed helped us. You know, it didn't help us. It just furthered our friendship, I guess, because we had something in common, and then like we didn't go fucking chill with the other dudes. They were lame.
Right.
They were drinkers.
I'm just idiots.
Losers. Anywho,
sorry.
But we quit, and then we went and did extracts and did all that good stuff. Did some events, and we'll get into that.
Have we mentioned that in this video yet? That we were throwing events on the roof.
But if we haven't, we could do a real quick recap. Steven Seagal, or where are you? Recap is because we do want to do another episode, so you guys can really get an in-depth of how we threw events, how it started for us, and how it's back then it was different to what you would try to do now. But we started, it was just parking garage, moved to a building, then it grew up and blew up on its own. So yeah, we did events, and then now we're here doing freaking podcast. Yeah, rest that little face. Now we're here doing podcast and talking about what's new in cannabis and keeping up with what bullshit we have to deal with and regulations. And you know what we should do one episode is put this in the comment. Would you guys like to know how legal it is to have cannabis in your car? Like, what really are the rules? Like, You know, of course, you go to the dispensary, but how many of you out there really put it in your trunk?
Right.
How many of you out there really like wrap it up and put it away? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I'm curbside. Thank you very much.
Yeah, drive off. Yeah,
You know?
Let me put
Here,
this in my
son, hold
trunk.
it. Cut it. Not cut that. We can't use that.
Check this out,
We
son.
can't afford that. We can't afford that. No, not check this out. Just hold this, son, and then take off driving. You know what I mean? Kind of stuff. Hey, we love all the dads and what they do out there. It's amazing what you guys do. Amazing. Anywho, but that's what I'm saying is we should do that. We should really get into that. That's what we're going to do here at Keeping Up with Cannabis. We're going to learn shit
let
like
us
that.
know what you need more info on. What can we be of assistance with our expertise, with our insanely long 4 years in the industry? I mean, good Lord, who's going to beat that? You know what I mean? Like, we are the top of the top when it comes to expertise.
I mean, the epitome.
No, but seriously, we will definitely have a much more in-depth video on extracts. That is our absolute expertise in every way, in every form. And that actually goes a lot into growing, because we can't stress enough, the starting material is what makes the extract, right? So you can't make a good extract from shitty starting material. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Turn it into distillate and add real terps. Go fuck yourself.
Oh my God, that's gross shit.
Fuck yourself. Anyway, so stick around if you want to learn about extracts, if you want to learn about cannabis events, and if you want, we will start and continue to hopefully review new products, new interesting products, which we do have a follow-up episode already ready that we're going to film.
What? I didn't mean to be
I don't think I'm going to tell you what it is. You got to stick around.
Yeah, you got to stick around.
Motherfucking subscribe, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Motherfucker.
Yeah. Would you guys like being talked
Is
like
it?
that?
Yeah. Is it nice?
Do you like
that?
that?
Appreciate that?
Do you appreciate that?
Fucking subscribe.
Fucking subscribe,
Just
you mother.
do it.
I almost forgot too. Up here, probably is flashing some kind of sponsor thing of a crap. If,
What do you mean?
know.
We're in this awesome room. Why?
Yeah, but this is so huge that they get a.
They're lowering a banner?
Shit,
Oh, shit, I didn't know they were doing that.
I mean?
Okay.
I mean, they did or not. I've been just paying attention to the camera. They may have fucking dropped it in and threw confetti and some shit.
Hold on. Producer is saying that this episode is already sponsored by
Pfizer.
That's insane.
Amazing. That is amazing.
That's crazy.
That is insane.
First
Crazy.
episode, we're already sponsored by these motherfuckers.
Wow.
By these pieces. I mean, these
That's
amazing.
Amazing. But meanwhile, enjoy this little commercial while we come back with our product of our episode.